There are many great characters in One Piece. The Straw Hats, characters like Bon Clay, and even villain characters like Doflamingo. But one of my all-time favorite characters in One Piece is one of the Straw Hats, Usopp. Usopp is a character that not a lot of people put as their favorite for one reason or another, but he is someone who resonates with me a lot. Usopp represents the normal person on the crew. He isn't stupidly OP in any way, nor is he insanely smart. He's just a normal guy surviving in the world of monsters, and that to me is what makes his character so great. He connected with me pretty early on in the series. Sure, at the beginning, just like almost everyone else, I thought that he was pretty annoying, but then I realized pretty quickly that I like Usopp. Unlike Luffy or Zoro or even Nami at the time, he felt like the odd one out. He was the comedic relief of the crew, trying to make jokes and have a good time, but he was also a coward who would hate being into dangerous situations. However, those were also the moments where he would shine the most. But before getting into why, it would be awesome if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. I make new anime, manga, and webtoon content every single week on a variety of different series and topics. Every Straw Hat has a dream they are striving for, and Usopp's dream is to be a brave warrior of the sea, which in my opinion, he has long since achieved. What Usopp doesn't realize is that not being scared isn't what makes you brave, it's standing up and facing your fears that makes you brave. And Usopp does this on a daily basis. He is scared of a lot of people, but when it comes to his crew, he will stand up and fight right alongside them, and he will come in clutch at some of the most important moments. Like in his fight with Perona, Usopp was the only person at the time who could have fought Perona and won due to the fact that he was already depressed, which nullified her abilities. Usopp is the guy that you look at and expect nothing from, but he will always step up and far surpass your expectations. The only person who saw anything in Usopp at first was Luffy, but now he is an integral part of the crew that everyone trusts to have their back. Usopp is the guy in the crew who you can tell has the lowest self-esteem besides maybe Sanji. Usopp has this feeling of inadequacy and weakness throughout the entire series that affects the way he interacts with people. Usopp felt like he was losing his purpose for being on the crew the further along they went on their journey. He already felt weak and inadequate in front of Luffy and Zoro and even Nami to some extent, but then after meeting Sanji, Chopper, Robin, and Frankie, he felt like his place in the crew was completely gone. Unlike all of them who have special skills that help contribute to the crew continuing on their journey, Usopp felt like he had nothing. All of these feelings culminate in a really heartbreaking moment in Water 7. Usopp wakes up after being defeated by the Frankie family and losing the money they were going to use to repair the Mary. When he wakes up, Luffy tells him that he is going to sell the Mary to get a new ship. To Usopp, the Mary is more than just a ship. It is a reminder of his home and the people he cares about back home. But the Mary is also another member of the crew, so Usopp felt like Luffy had no problems getting rid of weak members who have no value, so he snapped. This scene always hits me so hard. This is the first time you really get to see inside of the head of Usopp and see how he really feels. Of course, there were always moments throughout the series up to this point, but this was the big thing that brings Usopp's character arc full circle where we can finally start developing into the person he wants to be. This arc is also where we see Usopp's other persona, Sogeking, for the first time. Usopp uses Sogeking as a way to be brave and fight with no fear. Sogeking is what Usopp strives to be. But it was also his fear that brought Sogeking out in the first place. He wanted to help his friends, but he was scared they would never accept him back. So he put on the mask to hide who he really was from everybody. Of course, everybody except for Luffy and Chopper saw right through him, but they let him back as a way for him to save face, as they still saw him as a friend. They wanted him to apologize and be back on the crew, but they knew he needed some time to sort out his own problems as well. So they went along with Sogeking, but this isn't the last time Usopp relies on Sogeking. In Thriller Bark, we see Usopp use Sogeking in his fight with Perona as a way to deal with his fear of her abilities. As the Usopp, Sogeking is never scared. However, this is all just Usopp running away from who he wants and needs to be, and he realizes this after he beats Perona without the help of Sogeking. And that is why we never see Sogeking again after Thriller Bark, as Usopp has now stopped running away from his cowardice. Giants play a massive role in One Piece, in particular with Usopp's character. The Giants represent everything he wants to be. They are strong and brave, and they live for their ideals. Usopp befriending so many Giants throughout the series makes so much sense for the journey that he is going on to achieve his dream. Whenever the Straw Hats make it to Elbaf, they are going to play an integral role, and Usopp having befriended so many powerful giants I think is going to hail him as a brave warrior the moment they arrive on Elbaf, or not long after. Usopp has his self-esteem issues, and getting that confirmation from the people he looks up to most is going to go a long way in helping Usopp discover that he has long since achieved his dream the moment he set sail with Luffy. Alright, so I've been holding off talking about this all video, but I guess it's time to talk about why Usopp always lies. Usopp lies for a lot of different reasons. Usopp lied because it made the people around him happy. He thought his mother would want to hear that his father was back, so he lied about it. He told Kaya all kinds of crazy stories that at the time were lies just to cheer her up. Usopp lies because it gives him strength. I mean, how many times throughout the series have we seen his lies become truths? Lying is a comfort for Usopp. It's something he does naturally as a defense mechanism. Usopp is one of those characters that not a lot of people love, but has ended up being one of my favorite characters in One Piece. He is such an interesting character to explore as he has a diverse personality that makes his character a blast to read or watch. Can he be annoying? Absolutely, especially at the beginning of the series. However, the more the series goes on, the more interesting he becomes.